Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live. Happy Friday. Happy end of the week. People have casual day today. I used to. Well, what's the subject for today? Well, we're going to be talking about asylum, but a particular area of asylum. We're going to talk about particular social groups, okay? And how that fits into asylum, how that can be used to get asylum, and why it's one of the most misunderstood areas of asylum, yet, on the other hand, one of the most useful to be able to use to try to get asylum if you qualify. So, what I'll do is I will talk a bit about that, give my spiel, and then after, I will look and see if we have any questions. I'll answer them, and then I'll go do my thing. Okay? So, let's get into it. So, whenever you say asylum, a lot of people think, well, it has to be political asylum. That's like synonymous with what they think. So they're thinking that in order to get asylum, they had to have had political protests, they have to have some political opinion, and so forth. And just so you know, that's only one of the 5 different ways that you can qualify for asylum. Okay? That means that in addition to political asylum, there's 4 other ways. And I've done a lot of videos over the years. I have been a lawyer for 33 years now, 34, I think. And one of the ways that you can try to obtain asylum is what's called a particular social group. So what is that? That's not political persecution, not religious, not nationality, okay? It's a particular social group. So it's like a group of people that have some kind of characteristic, and because of that, they are persecuted. That's the bottom line of what a particular social group is. So, I can give different examples to make it clear. So, for example, in Africa, they still do what's called FGM, female genital mutilation, FGM. And those people fall within a particular social group because they are definitely persecuted, and they can use that social group, that particular social group, to come in the U.S. and apply for asylum. And just so you know, when you're applying for asylum, you don't have to apply on just one ground. If you find a good particular social group, that doesn't mean you can't also apply for, political persecution as well. You never know where the apple's going to fall and where the judge might grant it. Okay? So there's no problem applying for more than one ground of asylum. Okay. Now, what is one area, a particular social group, that has to be there in order for it to be a particular social group? One thing is it says that one characteristic has to be immutable, which means that you can't change something. You can't easily change it. Okay? So, if you're in a particular social group, then you can't just decide to go in there because you think it's a good thing, or you can't just get out. You are in there because there's some characteristic which you cannot change. Okay? Another fact, in order to successfully argue you're in a particular social group, is it can't be too broad. Okay, it has to be narrowly defined. So let me give you an example. And these are actual ones that were denied. One, from Central American countries, people tried to do social groups saying men that opposed gangs. Well, that's way too broad. Okay? is way too big, way too broad. So that's not going to help. So it has to be particularly defined. It has to be relatively narrow. There has to be an immutable characteristic. And you have to be able to argue, even if you meet the particular social group, you then have to argue the elements of asylum, that you're being persecuted based upon being in that social group. Okay? So that, in essence, is what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to just clarify one of the grounds of asylum. And when I argue in court, I usually always try to find a particular social group because, number one, it's not specifically defined. I mean, you can be creative. And when you're creative, you can do the group, make it, defined sufficiently with immutable characteristics. And again, keep the other grounds, but you can do this specifically for your client, okay? So it's a good way to go. All right? Okay. So let me go back to all the people that joined and see if we have any questions. Now, when I say questions, I mean immigration questions. And when I say immigration questions, I mean U.S. immigration questions. Okay? I mean, I had a I had a question the other day. It goes, my ancestors come from Italy and France, and I want to know what it takes to derive citizenship in Italy and France. And they're asking me, a U.S. immigration lawyer. So, of course, I told them, I have no idea. You would need to find an Italian immigration lawyer and a French immigration lawyer. Okay? All righty. Let's see. Let's see. Just scrolling down now to see if we have any questions. Sometimes we don't. I mean, it's the end of the week. So I know that you all are looking forward to a nice weekend. Be patient with me. I'm scrolling down all the people that joined. All right. Yeah, it looks like today we just had the subject I was talking about. So, given that, I'm going to sign off. Oh, wait, we just got a question. This is from Tawadros. Can you adjust status from TPS to green card based on EB2? Okay, that depends. Okay, jurisdictionally, meaning you could be in the 9th Circuit, the 5th Circuit. They define admission differently, okay? And some define TPS as a valid admission, while others don't. Now, I can tell you, generally speaking, when you're on TPS, you will have accumulated probably either 6 months or a year of unlawful status. And it is unlikely that you will be able to adjust based on EB2. EB2 is employment-based second preference. I don't know if you're just doing this as a hypothetical or if you, in fact, have already received approval of the EB2. Okay? So it's unlikely. And then if you consular process with an EB2 and you're subject to the 10-year bar, you're going to need to get a waiver, but you can only get a waiver if you have a qualifying relative. So you might be in a pickle. I would need more information on your case to know whether or not you fall within those categories. Okay? All righty. Well, given that, I'm going to sign off. Everybody have a good weekend. And until the next time.